Good evening, my name is Dante, and welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I discuss some of my favorite topics, specifically dark and heavy music, horror films, true crime, and various creepy media I find on the internet. Tonight, I'll be doing a deep dive on a mysterious piece of lost media. There have been countless lost songs and albums that have circulated the internet over the years, specifically making waves on YouTube and Reddit. Sometimes enough eyes and ears are able to get on it to spread the word and eventually unearth the full details behind the music. Others, however, still linger in obscurity today. One of those albums is Traces of Yesterdays by a band known as Overland, released in 2001. This was an album I came across skimming rateyourmusic.com, and though there seemed to be a handful of people curious to find it as of 2023, I have yet to see another YouTube creator give it the coverage it deserves. Before I start, I would like to give a special thanks to user Profoundemonium, who has done extensive research on this album over the past 10 years. The information I'll be sharing with you in this video comes directly from what they've been able to find out about the band. I will be linking both their channel and the pages I'm referencing in the description below. Overland were a four-piece band from England, with its members credited as Alex, Dave, Jane, and Joe. The last names of the performers are nowhere to be found online, nor are there any known photos of the group. From what we know, the group began writing together in October of 1999, then recorded the 10 tracks for the album over the course of 3 days in March of 2001. Some of the material was recorded at Dartington College of Music in the southwest of England, as well as in a basement in Bristol. There is nobody credited on the album for recording, mixing, or mastering, so I assume this was done by the members of the band themselves. The album had a limited release of 250 copies on CD by a label known as Home Is Where the Hat Is. From there, both the band and the album went into complete obscurity. In 2013, user Profoundemonium came across a copy of the CD in a secondhand music shop known as Hot Wax Records in Canton, an inner-city district in Cardiff, Wales. The disc was rotting and badly damaged, so a good portion of the album wasn't even playable. The only tracks that would play were the final 4 tracks, and they were distorted by a noisy glitch or clipping that would cut inconsistently over the music. Profoundemonium would upload these 4 tracks onto YouTube and archive.org, as well as provide all of the details of the album's booklet on Discogs and rateyourmusic.com in hopes of finding people who may know something about it. Musically, the 4 tracks that were playable consisted of haunting, pastoral ballads consisting of piano, organs, clean guitar, and violin. The overall style reminds me a lot of ethereal artists from the 80s and 90s, particularly This Mortal Coil and Black Tape for a Blue Girl. Much like the approach of those acts, the songwriting and instrumentation on this album is very sparse and simplistic, focusing more on creating dreamy ambient textures and subtle accompaniments as opposed to more complex arrangements. Two different vocalists are featured over the course of the 4 songs. The first is a broken, lonely sounding baritone.
I don't know nothing at all. Cradle me gently and heal.
The second is a very warm, sweet-sounding soprano whose timbre makes me think of a more dialed-back Kate Bush.
I saw you in the musky ends of sand-colored days. I always was amazed by you as I watched you slide into the night.
All things considered, the music is very beautiful and atmospheric despite the clipping caused by the disc rot. In fact, some of the comments I've read in regards to the album actually stated that they liked the clipping and felt that it added to the music itself. As the album had literally no other information to be found online, Profound Ammonium proceeded to do a bit more digging in hopes of finding a clean copy of the full album. On Discogs, where the user shared all of the artwork and liner notes information of the album, another user by the name of Rant Casey was listed as owning a copy of the album. Profound Ammonium was able to get in contact with them, to which Rant Casey advised their copy was also damaged from disc rot, but they were at least able to pull the first track of the album, titled Sleeping Waking. Rant Casey advised that they had gotten their copy of the album from All Tomorrow's Parties, which was an international music festival that started in London in 1999, around the time that Overland would have started becoming active. Profound Ammonium speculated that Overland may have performed at one of these festivals, but when I looked into their archive of lineups, it doesn't show that they ever did. The best bet is that they were probably handing out copies of the album at one of these festivals to attract listeners. The user then decided to look into the college listed on the album, Dartington College of Music. They were able to find a Facebook group called Dartington College of Arts Alumni, in which they posted about the band, asking if anybody there could identify them. One commenter stated that they knew of two people in their music course by the name of Alex, one that was a man and another that was a woman. However, this was all they could really provide and nothing more came of it. As I stated before, the album was released by a label called Home Is Where the Hat Is. The only information attached to this label is an address. Upon Googling this address, the results show a house in a residential area. My theory is that the basement in Bristol that is listed as a recording location on the album was likely referring to this house. In addition to this, when looking a little further into the address, it shows that this location would later become the hub of another indie label known as Stitch Stitch. Profound Ammonium contacted Stitch Stitch to see if they knew anything about Overland, but the representative who got back in touch with them said that they knew nothing about them and that the album would have come out before they joined the label. Nobody else at Stitch Stitch came forward with any other info. The user also took to Reddit, sharing the songs they had uploaded into the Lost Waves sub, which specializes in lost music. There, one of the commenters suggested contacting a musician by the name of Dave Hulot, who supposedly attended Dartington from 1993 to 1996. They theorized that he may have been the person named Dave who is listed in the lineup of the band, and that they used the recording space at Dartington after they had graduated. From what I know, there has been no contact made with this person as of yet, but beyond this minor tip, there really hasn't been anything to go off of in terms of finding out more about this album. As of July 2023, no one has come forward to say that they were a member of Overland or has a working copy of Traces of Yesterdays, and all of the information available is what I've presented to you here. Personally, I'm curious to know about the story behind this band and who these people were. My theory is that Overland were a group of college kids who were into gloomy, haunting music, then wrote and recorded this album as some sort of school project. Then they graduated, went their separate ways, and never spoke of it again. There's something I find incredibly intimate about the mystery surrounding Traces of Yesterdays. When I listen to the few tracks available online, it feels as though I'm listening to someone's personal thoughts or eavesdropping in on some dialogue I'm not supposed to hear. So this is my call to action to you all. If you know anything about Traces of Yesterdays or the members of Overland, or if you have any suggestions or theories on where we could find more info, please let me know in the comment section down below. Anyhow, that wraps everything up for now. I want to say thanks again to Profound Ammonium for giving me permission to share the research they did for this album. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm also active on Instagram and TikTok, so if you want to support the content that I'm putting out, or if you just want to hit me up and chat about music, you can follow me there as well. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening.